Hello and welcome to this video. This is why 6060.org is a terrible server. Number one, as you can clearly see, this is supposed to be an anarchy server, but Crystal PvP server, creative plots in an anarchy server, what is that? Anyways, we're going to go on the server now. Their performance right now is mostly good because they have a very low player count, but I have noticed in my time of being on this server that during peak hours when he gets around 140 to 170, 180, 190, 200 plus players, he can't even handle that. That anything below 200 is easily handleable, especially on the processor he has. He has a fucking, likes to flex that he has a Ryzen 9 5950X or whatever, but he can barely even utilize it. My server has better performance than his on a fucking i5 6th gen from like 4 or 5 years ago. And I have better performance, better TPS, better, like my server can right now could easily handle 350 players with 20 TPS with no problems. His, it struggles to even handle the high hundreds and the low hundreds. So that's pretty much the main big deal. Well, not the main big deal. He himself, the owner of this server himself. Let's talk about him for a second. What has he done? What is his issue? He has had many servers in the past. All of them have failed. Most of them and started out big, but in the end they all died because he can't keep the same players. He has to constantly keep getting new players from different places, which his way of getting new players is to buy other people's servers and point them to his server. 6060.org is not his first server. I'm actually the original creator of 6060, but I stopped running it 2 years ago. And yeah. But yeah, his previous server is openanarchy.org. What happened with openanarchy.org? Well, openanarchy.org, he bought it from a guy named DeBears, and after he purchased it, he tried everything to try and make it popular, but it never ever worked. Every time it failed. That is because he is a terrible server owner that only gives a shit about making money off of his players. That is the only thing he cares about. Notice how I said only thing, because people in the community have been criticizing me for asking for donations when I am genuinely in debt and had to pay server bills that were fucking increasingly becoming expensive. I only sold 7b70.me because I had to. I had no other choice. And I did everything in my power to make sure that the server didn't just completely go away. And it didn't work because Cubase had to hide the fact he has to hide and censor that 8b80.me exists everywhere. Since he got the Discord because he bought it from me, he wouldn't even let me get my players over, like the ones that or dedicated to me. He wouldn't let me ping them over to my Discord. It was a very unfriendly business transaction doing business with him. He doesn't give a shit. He just wants your players, and that's all he cares. He doesn't care about the community. He doesn't at all. He doesn't even care about his own community. That is another reason why 6060.org is a terrible server. He doesn't even care about the community. He does the bare minimum to make sure that the server is online, and then when people have any issue with anything and complain, he just basically says that they're wrong and either bans them or just fucking ignores them and censors them. That is pretty much all of the things I have to say about 6060.org. But it's not all negative, because guess what? There is another server that exists. It's called 8b80.me. If you want an actual good cracked anarchy server, then check it out. The link and the IP will be in the description.